Good Thursday morning, West Michigan. I'm Emily Scarlett.
And I'm Tanner Holbrook. Thank you so much for waking up with us and watching on 13 Plus. You see that we have a 13 weather impact alert that's in effect for later this evening as we have strong to severe storms that could roll right through West Michigan.
Yeah, there are levels, I think, typically to our 13 weather impact alert. Sometimes they're on an inconvenience note and sometimes they're on a really high severity note.
It's one of these times.
Yeah, we're really paying attention to these storms. Ice is charged through midnight. After midnight tonight, those storms will be racing out of here and we will be back underneath much drier and quieter conditions, and you can sleep soundly from there. All modes of severe weather are possible. It's very rare that I say that, and I mean it in a sense of all modes on kind of their higher scope are possible. Usually it's like, yeah, we could see a little hail embedded in it, maybe some damaging winds, maybe a spin-up tornado. I think that the potential for a stronger tornado is possible tonight. The potential for large hail 2 inches in diameter is possible, and then 75+ mile-per-hour wind gusts. Critical weather alerts are going to be what keeps you the safest through a storm system like this. That means having something like a NOAA weather radio, downloading the 13 on your side weather app, and making sure that those notifications are turned on loud. This is the low pressure system that's projected to move towards us, and as it does so, it's going to enter into an environment that's really conducive for storm development. Just still see a lot of the right ingredients present, that's not going to matter as much as it might normally. Now, in terms of our dew points, they will still be consistently in the low to eventually mid 60 category as these storms do move through. So that's the moisture that we need, right? Then we have the front that's moving through, that's the lift. We have a lot of instability, and we even have a little bit of twist in the atmosphere. Those are the 4 ingredients that we watch for with severe weather, and they all look to be present. This is 9 o'clock this evening. That's our Lake Shore's edge. From around 10 to 11 p.m. works through the greater Grand Rapids region and clears out of here. If you have family and friends in the
alert issued for this evening as strong to severe storms become more likely.
This system impacting much of the country. I've got to look at impacts on a wider scale.
Sunset tonight, 8 o'clock until midnight is the window of time that we really need to be locked into the forecast. But leading up to that, the time now is to prepare, because this is going to be a fast moving line of storms. Once it does arrive to your doorstep, it's going to race from west to east in a very quick time frame. The Storm Prediction Center continues to place us underneath an enhanced, that's a level 3 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms, and all of our ingredients look to be present to really make these storms come to fruition tonight. It's not often that I say that there's not just the potential, but that there's the likelihood for storms, and I think that there is a high likelihood for severe weather as we head into the evening hours tonight. Again, that wind gust as well as the potential for not just a spin-up tornado, but some models are indicating at potentially even stronger tornadic activity embedded within these storms. So we really can't rule out any level of severity in terms of this system, and we want to make sure that we're remaining weather aware as we head into the evening hours tonight. Now, we have a lot of clear skies ahead of this main line of storms, which means that we have a lot of energy that's going to build into our atmosphere. Temperature wise, we'll climb our way into the mid 80s throughout the day today underneath partly cloudy skies, and then it's right around sunset tonight that we see that system officially push in. As for our dew points, they're currently sitting in the upper 50s right now. They will continue to inch towards the low to mid 60s as we head throughout the afternoon hours today. Hour by hour forecast here keeping us underneath those partly cloudy conditions throughout the day, and then we see the arrival of this storm onto the western Lake Shore edge of Lake Michigan by 6 p.m. crossing Lake Michigan from 6 p.m. until about 8 o'clock and arriving to Muskegon, Holland, Grand Haven, stretching down through South Haven by 9 o'clock tonight, into the greater Grand Rapids region between 10 p.m. and 11 o'clock, and clearing our area between 11 p.m. and midnight with only a couple of cells separating behind it. Back to dry conditions quickly funneling in behind this main line of storms, and sunny skies expected throughout your Friday. We did add an additional pop of about a 30% chance for some isolated thunderstorm activity come late Friday evening. I will say there's a low-end severe thunderstorm risk, but nothing that compares to the chance for severe storms that we do have moving through with this initial line of storms. Back to dry conditions and colder temperatures as we head into the weekend. We'll drop back down into the low 60s. Again, the main concerns with this system are going to be the potential for large hail, damaging winds, as well as a spin-up tornado. Heavy bursts to prepare, which is really important here because these storms are going to race through West Michigan. Once they do arrive to the Lake Shore's edge, they're going to pack a powerful punch and quickly race off towards the Metro Detroit region from west to east. That's going to be a window of time from about 8 p.m. tonight until midnight. Until then, our low pressure system is going to continue to work work its way towards us. The Storm Prediction Center, as well as us here in the 13 on your side Weather Center, still see the very strong presence of ingredients that we need for these storms to really take off in strength. They have us placed underneath a level 3 out of 5 risk for strong to severe storms, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. This means that we could see anything from 75+ mile per hour this morning. And welcome back to 13 on your side. I want to slow down the timing for all of you for tonight's storms so that you really can pinpoint when to expect the storms and the potential for severe weather. Now, throughout the day today, we have partly cloudy conditions. It will be humid outside, temperatures climbing their way into the mid-80s, so a very warm afternoon, all of which is going to prime our environment for the storm arrival. 6 p.m. still quiet out, but you can see this line of storms starting to come to fruition. It's going to really come into a banded structure by the time we hit around 7 o'clock tonight, crossing Lake Michigan at that time frame, and then making it to the lakeshore's edge by 9 p.m. So those of you Ludington, stretching down through Muskegon, Holland, South Haven, and into Benton Harbor, you need to make sure you have your weather notifications and that you're prepared for the storms by as early as 8 to 9 p.m. Then between 10 o'clock and 11 o'clock, these storms make it to the greater Grand Rapids region before quickly clearing on out of here towards the Metro Detroit area by midnight. So these are very fast moving storms. A vast majority of West Michigan by the time we hit midnight tonight are going to be underneath quiet conditions. Then we see clear skies quickly race in behind the system itself, setting us up for a sunny and much quieter Friday in sight. A look at our extended forecast coming up. Great. Let's now look at our current conditions. We're at 61 degrees in Grand Rapids, 60 in Ludington. So it is a comfortable start to our day, not too cold outside, and we have more warmth on tap again this afternoon, making it to 85 degrees for our forecast high. This comes underneath partly sunny conditions, dew points remaining in the low to mid 60s all throughout the day. So that mugginess that's been present in the air for the last several days, that's expected to continue. By 9 o'clock tonight, we see the arrival of these storms to our lakeshore's edge. They're originally going to rely kind of as spotty cells, and then they kind of form into this linear structure or in this line structure, and as they do so, continue to work off to the east cells. And then once these start to form into an embedded line of storms, that's when our wind damage concern continues to get greater as well. But regardless of when you're placed underneath the concern, whether it's 9 p.m. or midnight, all modes of severe weather will be possible, and I don't want you to rule out one or the other. In terms of the next 3 days in the forecast period, while today we will be in the mid-80s, tomorrow we drop down into the low 80s. Lots of sunshine throughout the day on your Friday, so cleanup efforts underway if severe weather does come to fruition. Hopefully it doesn't, and these just remain run-of-the-mill thunderstorms as they roll through. And then there will be a couple additional evening thunderstorms possible after about 7 p.m. on Friday evening that wrap up by midnight. I do not see them having nearly the strength of the storms that move through as we head throughout tonight. Saturday, partly cloudy to mostly cloudy expected. Temperatures in the mid 60s to upper 60s. This cooling trend will continue into next week. Our mass right that this system's going to enter into as we head throughout the afternoon and evening hours today. But the Storm Prediction Center continues to place us underneath a high level risk for severe weather tonight. This is an enhanced risk for severe storms hatched underneath this orange area for all of West Michigan. As strong damaging winds, that's 78+ mile per hour wind gusts that we could potentially be tracking tonight. Hail 2 inches in diameter can't be ruled out, and even the potential for spin-up tornadoes. The time frame for the system moving through is about 8 p.m. continuing on until midnight tonight. So you need to make sure that you've got your weather notification, not just the potential, but that storms are likely, and that is going to be the case tonight. We are going to see severe thunderstorms. How strong they end up getting, well, there's the potential for some of them to get a little bit on the nastier side. So we really need to be prepared for this system as it does move through. On the high end, we could see hail 2 inches in diameter or greater, 75+ mile per hour wind gusts, and the potential for long track tornadoes. And again, those are not things that we typically say here in West Michigan. On the low end, hopefully these are non-severe thunderstorms, and that's what happens, but we got to prepare for them to have a little bit more umph to them than that based off of the current ingredients present in the atmosphere right now. We've got partly cloudy conditions throughout the day today as our temperatures build into the mid-80s. These storms arrive to the lakeshore's edge by 9 p.m. I really want you to hone in on the timing of this, because if you're going to be falling asleep by this time, you need to make sure you have your weather notifications turned on loud. Ludington, Muskegon, Grand Haven, Holland, Saugatuck, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. You really need to have your attention on the forecast. 10 p.m. to midnight, that's going to be the greater Grand Rapids region. Midnight to 1 a.m., these storms clear out of here. We quickly see clearing skies behind the system itself, and we're back to sunny conditions throughout a vast majority of our Friday before a small thunderstorm. A long period of time that you can prepare for the storms tonight. That means bringing the patio umbrellas in, bringing the cushions in, making sure that your garage doors are shut headed into the evening hours, because this line of storms does look to present a pretty nasty environment that's going to condone the storms to get really strong. Right now we are placed underneath a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe storms. These will likely be one of the strongest set of storms that we've seen so far this season, as they do usher into our forecast region. Now, we're still sitting underneath some hazy, foggy conditions across the area, and our temperature profile sitting right now in the low to mid 60s. As we head throughout the day today, we will see our temps continue to climb into the shore's edge by 9 o'clock tonight. So if you are located Ludington, Fremont, stretching down through Holland, Grand Haven, and then even down towards the Saugatuck and then Benton Harbor region, this initial band of storms arrives between 8 to 9 o'clock. It continues to work inland into the greater Grand Rapids region between 10 to 11 o'clock this evening, and then starts to clear West Michigan by as early as midnight. So notice how quick the timing of this line of storms is expected to be, while still packing a powerful punch. We're expecting anything from large hail 2 inches in diameter or more, 58+ mile-per-hour wind gusts certainly, but we're seeing several signatures that could take us up to 80 mile-per-hour wind gusts embedded within these storms, and tornadic activity can't be ruled out either. Coming up in just a few minutes here, a further look into your future forecast. Once these storms clear the area, what will be left out of the system itself, temperature-wise, will break into the mid-80s, so a very warm summer-like air mass, and these are summer-like storms that we are expecting with a lot of strength and a lot of umph in them. The Storm Prediction Center is still placing us underneath a level 3 out of 5 risk for severe weather. The rest of Michigan underneath a level 2 out of 5, so we're even more elevated than a vast majority of our neighbors. In terms of the threats, well, we're really putting everything from tornadic activity, strong damaging winds, and hail all within the same medium category of potentially occurring. While flooding is a potential, well, we will have heavy bursts of rain. This is a very quick moving line of storms, and that should help to prevent some of the flooding concerns that could be possible with this system. Hour by hour forecast here shows by noon today, partly cloudy skies to mostly sunny conditions. Again, that sunshine's going to act like fuel to these storms as they continue to work towards our area. They arrive just after sunset, which, yes, should help to weaken them slightly, but we just have a lot of the right ingredients present in these atmosphere for these to continue to hold their strength and form. 9 o'clock, Muskegon, Holland, South Haven. You have to have your weather notifications turned on at that time. By the time we hit 10 p.m. to around 11 o'clock, the greater Grand Rapids region seeing the brunt of this system, and then it starts to clear out of here by midnight tonight.